Welcome, everyone. You've just stepped into a sacred space where purpose meets preparation, where we come together to strengthen not just skills, but spirit, character, and legacy. Here inside the huddle in Mom's locker room of legacy, we go beyond the scoreboard. We speak life into vision. We nurture identity, fuel growth, and equip families with tools to thrive, on and off the field. This isn't just a workshop, it's a movement, a God-led playbook for legacy building, financial wisdom, emotional strength, and spiritual alignment. Disclaimer: the content provided in this video is for educational and inspirational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, financial, medical, or psychological advice. By watching this video, you voluntarily release moms, mothers of motivated sons. It had to happen, ETM, Dr. Erica Wilson, all facilitators, affiliates, and contributors from any and all liability. All content, including audio, video, graphics, presentations, workshop materials, and commentary, is the exclusive property of Moms and It Had to Happen, TM. Unauthorized reproduction, recording, distribution, or use of any portion of this content is strictly prohibited without express written consent. This video may contain copyrighted material not specifically authorized by the copyright owner. Such content is used under the provisions of the Fair Use Act for purposes such as education, commentary, and nonprofit awareness. We do not claim ownership of third-party content used under fair use. If you are the copyright owner and have concerns, please contact us directly for resolution. Thank you for supporting Moms, mothers of motivated sons, where faith meets the field and legacy lives beyond the game. So lace up, lean in, and get ready to join the huddle where every voice matters, every journey is honored, and victory starts within. Let's go. Please be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, Mothers of Motivated Sons.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. We're here on this Monday night here at 7:30. Guys, welcome inside the huddle. Thank you so much for coming inside Mom's locker room of legacy for tonight's topic, Pathway to Purpose, empowering student athletes and their mothers for success. This is part 3 with our heavyweight champion, Mr. Wendell. First of all, stir up. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Let's go.
Okay. Then we have our guest of honor, the Ryan Montgomery. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What's good, everybody?
What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, boss?
Right. Then we have, I think, another one of our heavyweight champions in the building. I don't know if she's on. I could hear us. Jasmine White. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know. All right. Well, until Jasmine get inside, welcome everyone inside Mom's locker room of legacy. Tonight, our topic again is Pathway to Purpose, empowering student athletes and their mothers for success, part 3. And all I want to tell you guys to get your pens and your paper ready to take notes. Listen, you do not want to not take notes because there's definitely going to be some jewels dropped out of both playbooks on tonight. So without further ado, let's go before the throne of grace. So kind and most gracious Father, God, we give you glory, God, the honor, God, and the praise, God. Father God, as we come before your people on tonight, Father, Lord God, I pray, God, that you, Father, have thy own way, oh God. Father God, this is your business, oh God. We're just your willing vessels, oh God, to spread the word, oh God, to your people, oh God, with the love of Christ, oh God. So Father God, I pray, God, that you use the both of them, Father, on tonight, Father, to speak a word, to drop some jewels out of your playbook, God, that you're allowing us to use on tonight. In your son, Jesus' name, God, we give you the glory. We give you the honor. We give you the praise because it all belongs to you. In your son, Jesus' name, amen, amen, and amen.
Amen, amen.
All right, the floor is yours.
All right, man. Listen, welcome back, man. Like always, I'm always so excited, so elated uh, to be a part of Mom's Locker Room and Legacy. Um, this is such a wonderful organization, and we're doing great things, man. We got to keep it up. With no further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce myself. Welcome back to those who have been a part of this so far or that have seen me. For the new people, I am Mr. First of All in the Mom's Locker Room with Legacy. In the sports realm, I'm known as Coach Speedy. I've been a part of sports all my life since the age of 4, all the way up to my collegiate years. Participated in well over 6 sports, and I've coached those same various sports plus more. I'm a father, like always, to 2 multi-sport athletes, and I can't leave the baby Emery out. She ain't number 2 much, but as soon as she turned 3, it's on and popping. But enough about me. One of my guys couldn't make it. He was out the country. But that's okay, man. I got another heavy hitter, Mr. Ryan Montgomery. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Mr. Ryan. Tell the people a little bit about you.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Ryan Montgomery. Born and raised in Canton, Ohio. Currently living in Frankfort, Kentucky. Proud graduate of Kentucky State University. Just like Coach and many other coaches out here, played college football. We played high school and college football. Had an opportunity to play at the next level as well. But for the past, I don't know, I'll say about 15, 16 years, somewhere in there, just been doing basically God's work, if you want to put it that way. My mom always says that. And just trying to find ways to change the narrative when it comes down to student athletes and their pathways to the next level, whatever it might be, 2-year, 4-year military, job corps, so on and so forth. And so I'm one of those guys that echo that I've been there, done that. And if you have any questions about what the process could look like, I can help out. I can lend a hand. And if I can't, believe me, somebody in my family, somebody in my close circle definitely can. So I'm proud to say that I'm connected with a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, that have the information that I may not have, and definitely have the information that everybody else needs out here in the country.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Once again, man, I thank you, Mr. Montgomery. I don't know, do I call you Coach? Do I call you Ryan? Do I call you Montgomery? Which one?
I mean, you can call me Coach, man. I haven't coached in a few years, but the thing about it is, one thing I learned a long time ago, man, once you're a real coach, and I put an emphasis on real, once you're a real coach, man, you never stop being one. So I'll take Coach for the night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So today we're going to be talking about, and hopefully I never get to my next part. I never do, because we get to the first part, man, we go to talking, and we never could make it to the next thing. But hopefully we'll be able to get into talking about the benefits of being a multi-sport athlete. But we're going to get into, man, the importance of being a student athlete opposed to being an athletic student. I know I had great parents who pretty much they wasn't really honest about our academics, but they pushed us. The main thing, get you a high school diploma at least. Then from there, that opens up opportunities for you. And up until about 9th grade, I followed that, right? I had an older brother. There was a movie, I think it was called The Good Son. My brother was the good child. Never got in trouble. I was the one, I guess because I was the youngest. I was the little knucklehead, hard-headed, or whatever, but I always took care of my academics up until the 9th grade. So I don't know if it was like this in Ohio, but I know in Florida, the GPA at one point was 1.5 just to participate in sports, right? So my 9th grade, I was in classes with seniors that played on the football team. And that was a bad look for me because I was the cool guy, I was the funny guy. I was good in sports, but I played on the JV team at the time. But I was in class with seniors, so I used to follow behind them. And they was like, I was like their little brother. So I followed behind them, started skipping, getting out of what my parents told me. And that made me realize something. A coach had to send something to me. But towards the end of that year, I ended up getting moved up to varsity, right? And that was a big accomplishment for me. I never thought I would even get moved up to varsity, but I got moved up to the varsity. But then, you have the spring and all that. So the coach called all the people names that tried out for the team for the next season. And coach said, when I call your name, you stay over here. If I call your name on the second go round, you go to room 1105. Everybody knew you ain't want to go to room 1105. So I was one of those that got called to 1105. So coach came to us and said, listen, you guys that had to stay here at 1105, you guys are not eligible to play sports. So I'm like, I'm not eligible to play sports. He was like, well, they changed the GPA. In order for you to play, you had to have a 2.0 GPA. I had a 1.5 GPA playing around. So coach said, what you can do is you go to summer school, try and bring it up or whatever. Went to summer school, took the little math class, got an A. I said, okay, I'm gonna be good. I had made a 1.9. And that hurted me because football was my first love. Even though I ran track, I boxed and swim and all that, but football was my love. And for the coach to tell me, hey, man, you only got a 1.9. Coach, is anything else you can do for me?
Nope.
Oh, man. And it hurt. It's just like you're drowning in the water and your lips are, the surface of the water is right here and your lips here and you just can't get that gasp. And that's what it felt like. So a coach came to me and said, you know why that happened? He said, you're an athletic student. You're not a student athlete. He said, and what I mean by that is the student athlete put their grades first and their talent second. They don't push it to the side completely, but they put that second. An athletic student is going to put his skill first and then the athletics. And that was my motivating factor that said, you know what, from this point on, this is what I'm going to be a student athlete. So, Coach, I got a question for you. I'm pretty sure you was good at school. I know you got all the grades. I know you was the perfect child like my brother. But what was your upbringing when it came to academics, and what was your motivational factor that, made you stay, student athlete first?
Man, it's a whole bunch of things wrapped in one. But no, truthfully, man, one of the main things, honestly, man, was my environment. You know what I'm saying? When it came down to, as they say, having one way out and everything like that. But when it came down to the academic portion, I use the females as my motivation. Like, dead serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta find something that's going to keep you enticed and wanting to learn and so on and so forth. And everybody has their vices, and everybody's going to sit there and say that, oh, well, my mom had these grades, my dad had these grades, and I want to be better than them, so on and so forth. But for me, honestly, man, it was just trying to be the man. You know what I'm saying? I wanted the ladies to pretty much know who I was, you know what I'm saying, in all facets. So you take that as far as the being able to raise my hand and answer all the questions, and then having parents that had been there, done that. My mom went to college. Actually, she was in college, but I was in, elementary school, middle school, and high school, getting her undergrad, her master's, so on and so forth. So you had that motivation factor right there. Then my father went to the Marines. And so that structure, if you want to put it that way, was instilled in me. Plus, I'm the oldest of 9, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't have a big brother. But I had an uncle that we're almost the same age. Well, we are the same age. We're 6 months apart. And he was getting all these good grades and getting all these great looks from different universities and stuff like that. And so it's like, man, if Unc is doing this, even though he hooped and everything like that, if he's doing all these great things in the classroom and we still out here doing, stuff in the community as far as we still partying and we still hanging out, stuff like that. But he got almost straight A's. You know what I'm saying? Even though he lived in a particular place, he, growing up in a particular environment, so on and so forth. If he can do it, and he just played basketball, like I know I can do it, and I played ... which we'll get to. And so it was really One was just not trying to be like everybody else that I knew. You know what I'm saying? Family, friends, so on and so forth. And like I said, the other one was like trying to, you know, show the ladies that, you know what I'm saying, don't man, forget that dude. I'm attractive. You know what I'm saying? Light skin was in back then, you know what I'm saying? So I'm if I can speak well, you know what I mean? I got my own car, all that stuff like that, and I can read and write. You know what I'm saying? I'm a total package. But then after that, it just more so about like, you know, you just want something different. And when it came down to the athletic part, everything, I kept it going, and I maybe not answering the second part of the question. Matter of fact, what is the second part of the question? So I don't want to mess it up. What was the second part of the question?
I was asking you, what was your motivation? The fact that you answered it was what
Okay.
motivated you to continue to be that.
Oh yeah, to make it so to piggyback at that, the motivation factor to keep it going was, I found out from a teammate of mine that you could be the best in the country. My high school teammate, my senior year, was the #1 player in the country. My guy couldn't go to the institution that he wanted to go to because he didn't pass English because somebody told him he didn't need to take English. You know what I'm saying? And so we were in the same English class, and he was just missing, like, you know what I'm saying, where he at? So I was like, time out. If he's the #1 player in the country, we're in the same class, getting the same grades. But then somebody come in here and tell him that he can't go to college because he ain't really taking it serious. Now he done pretty much said, I'm cool for the rest of the semester, the rest of the whatever. I'm like, time out, man. Nah, I can't be that. And so it was just, again, just getting outside that environment, leaving everybody alone, if you want to put it that way, and just trying to change the narrative as far as being politically correct, a young black man in today's society. I didn't want to be a statistic once I learned about, you know, how they really, really saw me.
Yeah, I think our generation, we kind of changed that narrative because, you know, when we was in school, they used to call us jocks, or they dumb, they can't do nothing. But we changed that narrative, and it's funny that you mentioned about the situation with your friend, the guy that you knew. A lot of our guys, you know, during our age, they missed out, and that's why it's so important to get your academics up, because they missed out. Like you say, these guys were the top of the top, great athletes, but guess what? They didn't meet the requirements that those institutions that you talk about that they had. They SAT score too low, they ACT scores was too low. GPA, you could just forget it, but they just had enough just to be eligible. And then I don't know how y'all did it in Ohio, but them teachers, if you went to a certain particular school, I won't name those schools, they had teachers that would just pass the athletes just because they want to have a winning program. I used to hate it. I probably was a little bit jealous because I wasn't part of that, but a lot of those guys had to go to JUCO, you know, had to do those 2 years to try to get those grades up. But had they been doing what they're supposed to do, they would have been a little bit better off. And what we kind of miss out too on is, I don't even know who my counselor was in high school. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know what a CAP advisor was, because for the athletes, they didn't care about us like they did the other students. They pretty much went to the other kids who helped them pat themselves on the back. Yeah, I got this kid into college. Those football guys or those basketball guys, they coach and take care of them. And it's sad. So what advice would you give, like, to some of the parents in like that situation, like as far as what should they be doing to make sure their child or the athlete is in the right place to get those resources?
I mean, number one thing is obviously, you know what I'm saying, do the research yourself. You know what I mean? Because I tell people all the time, and it's the truth. The guidance counselors, and it might be a guidance counselor listening to this, and maybe like, oh, that ain't true. But it is, because one of my homeboys is a guidance counselor, and I joked with him about this last year. Like, guidance counselor's main job is to make sure that young person goes to the next level, whether it's from 8th grade to 9th grade, 9th grade to 10th grade, so on and so forth. How they get there, it don't matter. As long as they have that math, that science, that English, and so on and so forth, that fits whatever is needed to get to that next step, whatever. And most parents really be like, oh, well, the guidance counselor didn't tell me. Oh, well, the guidance counselor, you know what I'm saying, left out the information. But that's not the guidance counselor's job, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, people really don't understand that. That's why if you want your student athlete, you want to keep on student athlete, you want the student athlete to be successful, you may want to get to know the guidance counselor, but also do your research when it comes down to the NCAA Eligibility Center and those things like that, so you can actually know and understand what classes they have to take in order to go to college to be a student athlete. Because every history class isn't history class, you know what I'm saying, according to the curriculum vitae. And people forget that every math class, because, you know, just because you took pre-algebra and took algebra and then algebra 2, well, that may not match up with whatever the case might be. Obviously, we know that math does, but people don't understand that. So number one, do the research. Also, the main thing is stop being prideful. You know what I mean? The fact that we as adults sit around and think that we know all the answers to the process because our cousin went through the process, my son before went through the process, and so on and so forth. Man, no, not at all. Listen, I know a family that has 4 student athletes. All of them are great athletes, and every single young person that went through the process had a totally different process. You want to know why? Because the recruiting game and some of the standards and so on and so forth change by the time we get off of this call right here. By the time we get off this call, something's going to change. And then by the time we wake up in the morning, something else is going to change. And so when you sit there and say, oh, well, I've been through the process, I know A, B, and C. No, you know the basics. You know the basics as far as being healthy, going to school, make sure you graduate high school. That's it. What comes after that has changed because, you know what I'm saying, not to show the age or anything like that, but the NCAA clearinghouse, dude, back in the day, bro, we wrote it down. It took some days to actually, you know, send that stuff in. Now it's 5-10 minutes of clicking some buttons. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with some of these standardized tests. You ain't sitting at a desk with somebody walking around and making sure that you ain't cheating, making sure you got 3 or 4 or 5 number 2 pencils on your desk, and they ain't doing that no more. It's like, hey, open your Chromebook. Make sure you got enough juice down in the corner. You're connected to the Wi-Fi and click the button when you think the answer is right. That's it. And so, you know what I'm saying? It's an evolving situation, an evolving game. So you have to do the research. And it's funny, and I don't want to turn it to the left or anything like that, but there's a part in the movie called the Players Club. Everybody's seen the Players Club. There's a part where Lisa Ray is knocked out sleep in that class. And the professor's up there talking about, you know what I'm saying, don't trust everybody's, you know what I'm saying, information, da. And she wake up and she says the exact same thing. I'm only going to trust mine. Oh, it's the same thing. Do the research, find out what's going on, and then ask the questions accordingly. And obviously, of course, I'm going to always put it on the coaches as far as us. Lean on that coach for the data. Lean on that coach for the information. Lean on that coach to make sure that he's putting your son or your daughter in the right position to go to the next level in whatever sport they want to play. And then don't just leave it right there. Also ask that coach to give you other resources. Again, like I said, 2-year, 4-year, military, Job Corps, it doesn't matter, man. Now, a lot of people wake up in the next morning and be like, man, I don't want to play sports anymore. I want a job. Okay, coach, A, B, and C. So in a nutshell, just do the research, man. And don't be prideful. I don't care who you are. You know what I mean? I can go in into who my mom is. It don't matter because she still asks people questions. I ask people questions. So ask questions.
Yeah. And don't be a lot of parents are afraid. So you have some students they're just going to struggle in academics, period. They have whatever issues they have. A lot of parents, listen, you guys need to, like you said, not be prideful. Kids have IEPs. Don't be prideful. A lot of people, I don't want my child to be late. Listen, man, that thing can go a long way. Coach, you know anything about the IEPs?
I don't, personally, I know what it is because
Right.
obviously I'm a teacher in school and everything like that. But I never written an IEP, but I know students that have IEPs, and I'm glad you mentioned that because this is one thing I do know for a fact. And I ain't about to take the floor from my mom, but just because a kid or a young person has an IEP or some type of acronym, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna say like that, some type of acronym by their name while they're in middle school and high school, they ain't got nothing to do with college. You know what I'm saying? Because a kid can have an IEP in middle school and boost it in high school. A kid can have an IEP in high school and go out to college and be a genius. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the brain is still developing, and that young person is still trying to find themselves and understand what they really, really want to do. And you can sit there and have, all kind of things in the classroom, little fuzzy footballs and stuff like that they can hold on to, whatever. But I'll tell you this, I coached a young man, and he might be watching this, but I coached a young man when he was in high school. He had severe ADHD. I'm talking about like, I didn't know how bad it was until the one time he didn't take his medicine and came to practice. I was about to listen.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
know.
high at our school, and I'm pretty sure my man would have been on it, but I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? He is now I don't even know what his title is because when he explained to me what he does, I was like, dude, you sound like somebody I don't want coming to my business. So he's basically an auditor, a tax auditor in a small word sense, but he go to corporations and basically audit them on site and make sure that they to the standard or whatever. And he been doing it since he graduated college. You know what I'm saying? And he loves it. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is when people try to be embarrassed about their kids label, you know what I'm saying? My thing when it comes down to that label, don't let that sink into your student athletes or your student period, your students' mindset for the future. Because if they use that as a crutch, they're gonna use it as a crutch for the rest of their life. Whether they're a father, a husband, or wife, it doesn't matter. They're gonna continue to say, "Oh, well, I got an IEP," and they're 42, 43 years old. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? They may have the situation, but don't let the system, if you want to put it that way, encourage them to be this way. Yeah, you got that going on now, but you can use it as motivation. You can use it as an opportunity to become better or whatever. So, there's so many young men and young women that are playing professional athletics right now with IEPs. You'd be amazed. In the state of Ohio, listen, man, I know for a fact some of the guys that I grew up with went on to Ohio State, went on to Michigan, went on to these prestigious universities, got a degree, went on to play professional, and they couldn't spell their name going out of high school. You know what I'm saying? But they got to college, they got surrounded by the right people, they had the right resources, had the right encouragement, had the right people pouring into them. Then boom, the chips start falling in place. So the main thing is when it comes down to the IEP, number one, I'm sorry, I already skipped it. Figure out what it is. If your son or daughter has an IEP, figure out what kind of IEP they have. That's a broad thing. Just like ADHD, it's so broad, you don't even know. So find out which one of theirs, and then you know what I'm saying. Find something to get them, you know what I'm saying, get them in line to what they might be able to do. They might be able to draw. Or go to the dollar store, go to Walmart, get some paintbrushes and some canvases and get it going. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Coach, you mentioned something earlier, man. I wanted to speak on it because it's kind of segue into what I want to talk about next. You're talking about walking away from the game. You know, some people may one day just walk away from the game, right? And this is when the academics come into play. So a friend of mine named Rashad Johnson, he played for UCF. He was a defensive back. The guy was a wonderful athlete. But because of politics, we all know now about politics, he didn't make that step over into the NFL. I don't even think he made it to the CFL. But he continued his education. And this is why it's important, because as he continued his education, he got all these different accolades, different degrees, and he put himself in position to where he's now the CEO and president of 3 hospitals in Atlanta, the Emory hospitals. And
Oh yeah.
he's making 7 figures. He didn't touch the field not one time, but because of his academics, it propelled him to still make 7 figures. And all our athletes, and we talked about this last week, life after it's gonna end. You can't do it forever, and that's when your academics plays a big role. Another guy of mine, his name is Lewis Smith. Another one went off to JUCO, played ball. He didn't make that transition, but he continued his education. He's like one step under a doctor. Started as a lifeguard, moved over to a firefighter. He was a paramedics, EMT. Then I guess he was motivated by his kids. He had like 6 girls. He wanted to continue that education. So after he got his degree, he just kept going. He said, you know what? It's more. It's more. And he continued his education. What you think about that, Coach? Is that spot on, Coach?
Absolutely. My thing is, you in the college world, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know about is it Myron Rowe, Florida State? You know
Yeah. The state play for the Florida.
me and my mom was just talking about him, a couple of weeks ago, and she was on the phone with somebody, and you know what I'm saying, he was almost crucified when he chose to step away from the game and go the path he did, because he was projected to be a first round draft pick, Florida State All-American, all the great things, and he didn't lose the love for the game. He just had more love for the educational part. I mean, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But one thing I want to point out is, as you coach, as you develop, we're gonna say parents first, as you develop your student to be a student athlete, you have to let them understand that sports is gonna be over one day. You know what I'm saying? And you have to find them something else to do. Find them another passion. Because if you don't, once they let the air out of the ball, depression sets in. You know what I'm saying? Life is over sets in. I don't know what to do next sets in. I don't, you know what I'm saying? That's why you have so many young people, and you have other professional athletes, so even collegiate athletes, when their career ends, they don't know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Because we all wired different. You know what I'm saying? All football players is wired a certain way. All basketball players is wired a certain way, so on and so forth. And so since we're wired that way, and we've been living that structured life for so long, when it's gone and it's taken away, a lot of us freak out. Like, oh man, I can't go out there and hit nobody no more, or I can't, do a layup or whatever no more. What's my life like? What am I gonna do for the rest of my life? Well, that's where your passion kicks in. But the issue that we run into is we just tunnel vision on football, tunnel vision on track, tunnel vision on A, B, and C. But we don't say, hey man, can you read? You like to draw? You like to dance? You like to, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And we lose young people to a simple injury in sports, and their career and their life is over with. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you brought that up, because I see it all the time, and I'm like, listen, man, life ain't over. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you're supposed to be upset, disappointed because you just suffered an injury, and it could have ended your career, could have ended your season, whatever. But man, you got other things going on. You know what I'm saying? It's this thing called I'm trying to find the word, life. You know what I'm saying? You got life going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it ain't over. Right. Yeah, you may not be able to play the game the way you wanted to, but man, you can still give back in a particular way. You may not be able to do the things that you once did before, but you can still, live life. And who knows, it may take you down that pathway to where you can be in the game or around the game again. And so, like to change the subject just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? We gotta do a better job of helping our young people understand that there is life after sports, and you can have life with sports. Right. And I'm gonna say this because I know it might be some trainers out here and some parents that say, "Oh, I gotta take my kid to training," and so on and so forth. Hey, man, let a kid be a kid. Man, it ain't enough little boys coming in the house with dirty elbows and dirty knees and dirty t-shirts no more. You know what I'm saying? It ain't enough Barbie playhouses, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to Walmart, whatever. They don't even really sell that stuff for real no more because ain't nobody in the crib doing something silly. Ain't no how many Facebook posts you seen with the dad and the daughter doing the tea, you know what I'm saying, the tea joint in the house. How many times you see kids outside playing rough and tumble or whatever y'all might call it down there? Like, man, come on, man. We ain't outside getting dirty at 8, 9, 10 years old. We can't be kids. How many bicycles been sold in the past, I don't know, 2 years?
Right.
Basketball rims that been broke at a park in the past 5 years. Dude, we used to break the rim man, listen, at Rolling Park at home, Maple Park, man, we used to break the rim as much as we could.
Right.
We knew the city had, you know what I mean? How many baseball bats have been bought, whatever? Matter of fact, how many bicycles have been stolen? Let's be realistic. Y'all take it back to what it really looked like. How many bikes have been stolen? You know what I'm saying? Painted down, stripped down like we used to back in the day. And you see 15, 20 kids that's riding through the neighborhood, but like, hey, man, them my handlebars. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times you see something like that going on? That's a laughing matter, true enough, yeah. But like, we don't allow our young people to be kids. You got a whole life to be an adult, train and work hard and grind and so on and so forth. And y'all don't want to just go outside and, I don't know, play in the water. I don't know. When the last time you seen a kid outside washing your mom and your daddy's car?
Sure.
Mowing the lawn. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Raking leaves. Like, I ain't trying to be funny, but it's just the truth. Like, our young people don't do kid stuff. We got to get back to that because the grind, if you want to put it that way, is overemphasized and overused. And the word fun is underneath that. Because we'll tell a kid to grind and work hard in the weight room, grind and work hard in the classroom, and grind and work hard, whatever the case might be. But we got a problem telling them to have fun. You can do both, but I need you to have more fun than grind, though. I don't need you to be tired in school because your body beat up from working out for the past 3-4 months. Like, man, nah, man, have fun, dude. Play the video game. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I digress because I was about to say something.
Not even know just 3 or 4 months, man, because they know Florida. I would say Miami, especially. Kids don't get a rest, especially with football. Is pretty much year round. And when I'm out training people like for their individual sports, I've seen kids out there 4 or 5 years old training, and some of them even crying because the parents going hard on, hey man, you need to tighten up. Like, listen, bro, you wasn't even like that when you was his age. You was playing with your little games and stuff. And they be pushing these kids so hard, man. It's sad.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say don't pour into your kid and try to give your kid something that you didn't have. I ain't gonna say that, but the number one thing is, man, allow your kid to be a kid. You know what I'm saying? I know today's time, you know, I mean, having a trainer and start sports earlier is the thing to do. And you know what I'm saying, it looked good for TikTok and YouTube that your son out there grinding or whatever. But y'all don't even take our kids to water parks, dog. You would take a picture and a video of your kid, you know what I'm saying, flipping tires and you know what I'm saying, doing 1,000 push-ups, but you ain't gonna do the same thing with them having fun. Your son might be outside, I don't know, doing backflips or whatever. You ain't gonna celebrate that. What you do celebrate is he got another trophy. Look at my son's player of the year. Dog, like, come on, man. Like, you know, man, celebrate your son just waking up, going outside and sit on the front porch, man. I don't know.
Don't worry about it, Coach. I got you. The last thing I'm gonna talk about with the academic portion of before we go into the multi-sport athlete, if we have enough time. You also have those athletes who are not the best athletes, but what helps them get to that next level are their academics. Not saying my brother was that guy, but he played football. He was a part of FIU's first football team. He had an academic scholarship. He walked on to the team, and then he obtained an athletic scholarship. But because of his academics, he got to where he wanted to go. So you have those type of athletes. So that's very important for athletes to know that, hey, listen, you may not be the best, but they'll take you because you have a 4.0 GPA and you decent enough. We can coach you up to where we need you to be. So keep that in mind, athletes. All right, so Dr. Eric, you had any questions? Because I see you squinting and everything. Like
No, I was just listening in because when he was talking about the part about we don't allow our kids to be kids, that is so true. And this is why when they get to the next level as far as collegiate or NFL, this is why they lose focus and don't know who they are, because as a child they was taught to what? Compete. It should not be a competitive sport at that level. When you're in a young age, it should be learning the fundamentals, right? And then here it is when that kid get to college level, and like you say, they don't make it. Now they're questioning themselves or falling into a deep depression. Or sometimes the kid is really trying to do what the parents want them to do. It's not what they want to do. So we talk about that as well. People living through their children. You just have to, like he said, let your kids be kids. You had your shot at it. That's it. You had your shot at it. So now be the parent, okay? Be the parent to your child. And academics, y'all know that I'm big on that right there. Like academics is everything. But where is the part about teaching your child who is the creator, who created all of this? You understand? Who's teaching them that? We could teach them to go out there and throw a ball, and they think that because they scored a touchdown, it was their might. No, it was only by the grace of God. Put a Bible before our children. Let them know who God is.
Yes.
First of all, and then once you know who God is, God start opening up your eyes to who you are at the end of the day. But we're not doing that. We're not introducing our children. I was guilty. I can admit it, because I didn't even know who God was. I knew who he was, but I was running myself, you see. But once I were able to, God says, no more running, I surrendered. And when I surrendered, that's when my children began to see who God was, when I displayed who he was through me. And we have to lead by example. So all of that play a part. With these kids not being able to be kids, it's sad. It's really sad.
So, Coach, last thing. So you were a student athlete. There were some difficulties you may have had. How did you prioritize, managing being a student athlete? Are there any tips that you can kind of give the students, the athletes, of some of the things that you probably help you maintain throughout that process of being a student athlete?
I'm spoiled. Well, I was spoiled, a student athlete, I was a guinea pig. My mom, she created this program way back when that's pretty much used now in the collegiate level and used in different high schools throughout the country. And so my brother and I, we were the guinea pigs, So it was it was like a big giant poster board thing, and it pretty much broke down the whole entire day, hour by hour. From 5 o'clock in the morning until about, I say 9:30 at night. Legit 100% color coded. This is what you're gonna do. This is when you eat, sleep, shower. Like, she broke it down to where you knew exactly what you were supposed to be doing around that time. It sucked royally during high school because it was like, man, we got to do this, dog. I'm not doing this, bro. But trying to follow it to the best of our ability, it worked out for us when we got to college. Because that 5 o'clock in the morning workout, so on and so forth. The number one thing I would try to tell people is, come up with a regimen. Come up with a regimen. It's not going to work to the T when you're in high school because you're not going to have that structure. You won't. You're going to be doing things in high school that you're not going to do in college. You're going to be doing things in high school that you're not going to do as an adult. But if you want to be a student athlete, and I'm not going to say a superior student athlete because I hate it when people say that. Well, let me not say hate. I dislike it strongly when people say, if you want to be a superior student athlete, do these things. Okay, what's a superior student athlete? Like, who out here is superior than whatever?
Right,
right. Michael Jordan, the greatest about, they not superior. They just had a regimen and they stuck to it. You know what I'm saying? And so if you want a timeline of where you should be and what you should be doing during the day, the number one thing is make a schedule. Put your academics of when you're in school. Put that in there. I'm in school from 8 to 2:30. I'm in school from 8 to 3:30, whatever the time is. You know what I'm saying? And then before that and after that, fill it in. You should eat breakfast, eat lunch, you know what I'm saying? And that's all you got to do. And then just try to stick to it. Because what people don't understand is if I'm supposed to be at school at 8 o'clock in the morning and I eat lunch at 10:30, 11, 12, whatever time to eat lunch, okay, I already have my first half of my day filled in. It's already structured. Classes and food. Then after that, you know what you're doing. I got more classes, then I go to practice. Okay, cool. Then you give 30 minutes, boom, to drive to the crib. You know what I'm saying? 40 minutes, whatever. Shower, eat, whatever the thing is, though. And you will see how easy it is to fill in those boxes studying. You know what I'm saying? In the bed. Because what people, it's funny because you'll see some people on TikTok saying, oh, man, you know, it's 24 hours in a day and you sleep 8 of them and you da. Listen, man. Well, you got the Steve Harvey joint to where, you know, rich people don't sleep. Yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying? I know a couple people that's making 6-7 figures and they definitely be knocked out. D&D to the fullest. So it's just about structure. And Tyler Perry, man, I've seen something about Tyler Perry speaking to somebody or during a group of people, and he mainly seen his main thing was block out the noise. Because you hear noise every single day, so block out the noise. But I would say start with that little timeline, little calendar, whatever. Start with that, and then you'll see your free time. And you can even do it month by month. Go to Walmart, go to the dollar store, and get you a January to December calendar if you want to, and tear it out and just start filling in. 8 o'clock I do this, 10 o'clock I do this, 11 o'clock I do this, that. And you will see how easy it is to basically put your life in order and have that structure. Don't make it more complex than what it is. Are you going to follow it to the T while you're in high school? Absolutely not. It's impossible. Because you're going to have the freedom to do everything else you want to do. But when you get to college, 5 to 7 a.m., you working out doing something. Yeah. From 7 to 8, you at breakfast. I give you maybe till 8:30, depending on what your class schedule is. From 8 till, you know what I'm saying, 11, you know, I'll say 10:30, 11, class. 11 to 12, 12:30, meeting. You know what I'm saying? You're going to know exactly what you're going to do because it's going to be structured just like that. And you can't miss it. So if you listen to what I just said, from 5 to 7, you working out doing A, B, and C. From 7 to 8, you got breakfast. From 8 to 10:30, 11, you got class. From 10:30, 11 to 12, A, B, and C, you got lunch. So that it's the same thing when you break it down. People need to stop thinking that a lifestyle in college is way different than high school. It's not. The only difference is at the crib, you're going to freelance it. In college, you're not. So that's why when me and my brother got to college, we were cool when it came down to the timetables and the structures and everything like that, because we have been doing it for 3 years, 2 years. It don't even matter how long. It felt like forever. But we were doing it for X amount of time. So get up at 5 o'clock in the morning or, you know, saying 5:30, and basically Mom Deuce got us down there fake vacuuming the floor and dusting the water. Man, we used to do the stupidest of the stupidest stuff. But it was to prepare us for, you ain't going to be late to school. You're going to have all your homework done. You're going to be involved in the community. You're going to eat well. You're going to sleep well. You're going to, you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. Because it's all about having a plan. And then I'll add this, as a student athlete, one thing that most guys and most young ladies forget is the more you rest, I didn't say sleep, the more you rest, the better you can recover.
Yes.
You don't necessarily need sleep to recover. You need rest. That's why when you get injured or you go to the doctor and something wrong with you, the first thing they say is, hey man, you might want to just relax a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just rest some. Nobody ever said go to bed. Just rest. You moving a little bit. So, you know what I'm saying? That's just put together a plan, man, and try to stick to it. If you don't have a plan, you can't get a plan. Somebody got one. Right. Somebody's an adult with a job. You know what I mean? So ask one of them.
All right. I think it's time for Q&A. If you have any questions, go ahead and shoot. And while we're waiting on those questions, this question is for Dr. Wilson or my wonderful wife. As mothers, what would you say to the mothers, given what he said? What part can you play in that to help out?
I give it to Ed.
Nice one. Nice one. I'll take it. I'll take it. Um, as a mom, I would first of all, I agree wholeheartedly with everything that I'm hearing. Most importantly, the schedule and prepping your children to be able to handle the load that comes with being an athlete and a student, because it's more than just being able to handle the academic load, but even the routine of things and being able to show up in, in both spaces, right? And so, without disclosing much about my child, but he struggles with his own, being able, he has ADHD. And so, having to manage that and help him to stay organized and, keep his grades up and be able to show up in the athletic space, having a routine and having something for him to follow is extremely important. And it's not just a kid who struggles with ADHD, but just in general, as humans, we thrive off of having a routine. We can't function without actually having a routine. And that's why we walk around here like our heads cut off, because a lot of the times we refuse to use the calendar, we refuse to set up a reminder in the phone, but if we can't do it, why even ask our children to? So kudos to your mom, Coach Montgomery, that she instilled that into you guys at an early age, because that's major. And so I agree with that, and I think that that's what allows allow our kids to be successful, in what we're asking them to do, because we can't just tell them to be student athletes without giving them a guide on what that looks like. And so and so one of the examples that Coach Montgomery gave was that it was the parent who created the guide. It didn't make sense to the kid, but it was the, hey, get up, iron your clothes, make sure you do this, you got to go do some volunteer work on Saturday. None of that made sense in the moment, but it wasn't until you step foot on that college campus where it mattered, that you had to show up as and do service events, and show up in that space, not just come and play ball, not just come and lift weights, you know what I'm saying? So that's my input. I don't know if I answered what you said, but I totally I totally agree.
Yeah, and I do too, because the thing about it is, I get it. Everybody, I won't say everybody, but most of us want that student athlete, right? Or that child that's gonna play sports. But sometimes it's just not gonna be. It's not something that they want at the end of the day. Because I'm gonna tell you this, parents and moms, at the end of the day, I don't care how good my kids were in sports, let them bring home anything under a C. I don't even want to see in my house. You know, you talk about going where and doing what? Not so. Now, one of the parts I probably did let go, I didn't make my kids do chores. I felt like as a mom, that was my job. But hey, I did that. That was my parenting skill. It seemed to work because they were so focused. Both of my kids are like geniuses now today. And you talk about when you said about, you have, I dropped my book. You talk about when you have, you may write in your planner, you may not. And this nobody but God that have this. Alan bought this for me, right? As you can see, some days it's filled in and some days it's not, correct? Okay. And then some days you probably see all of this. Then we go to this. You probably see all of this, but watch this. I'm gonna show you something. I skipped a whole couple of weeks, okay? It was fun at first, getting into it, but as I started getting into it and life get to lifing, think about with our children, with everything that they have going on, right? But y'all get the point. Some days just don't have anything. when life get to happening for us as parents, because we're doing what? We may have 2 and 3 student athletes or just children, period, that we have to tend to. So now we have to give time to each one of those kids. Some need more time than others. And we all know that. Here's the thing, just because you're providing for a child does not mean that he's or she is receiving that love from you because you're providing. They sometimes don't want the Jordans or whatever it may be. They want your time. They want, how was your day? They want the conversations. They want you to listen to hear and not listen to respond. They don't want you talking at them. They don't want you reminding them what you did as a child because they want to grow up being, they want to have their own identity. And that's one of the things I say when they look at us as moms, or when we have athletes and they look at us as mom, they don't even call me Miss Wilson. It's Alan Hearn's mom. No, I'm Erica Wilson. I was Erica Wilson before he became Alan Hearns. So learning to allow our kids to have their own identity as well. We have to learn how to speak life into our children. We have to learn how to listen, even if it's something that we think we don't want to hear, but that's their feelings. We can't tell them how to feel. This is where we lose our kids, when we go try to tell them how to feel. And then now you're pushing them into the corner and they're not going to come talk to you. They're going to talk to everybody else. Look what I sent you, Ryan, the other night, Coach.
Yeah.
We have that, oh my gosh, that I'm talking about. Yes, true athletes. One with a murder, something like that, with a murder, something with a murder. And then another one right around with a whole bunch of paraphernalia and guns. And where is the disconnect?
No conversation is being had, because at some point it's more important that they putting the numbers on the field and on the scoreboard than to let them know that you're not invincible, and a lot of our athletes nowadays are really feeling like, that identity overrides everything else. Being an athlete overrides everything else. And so there's no one having the conversations that, hey, you could be the best quarterback and go to jail. You can be, this and get charges pressed on you. You can, you're not going to be able to pay this fine and that be the end of it. You could lose a whole scholarship. You can, I think when we were growing up, and I don't know, if Coach Montgomery could attest, but I know Wendell has, mentioned before, like, if you messed up out there and you got caught messing up, you lost it all. It wasn't no staying you wasn't going to remain a athlete. Scholarships got lost because you were doing stupid things. And I can recall a lot of people who, I went to school with, who got full-time, full ride scholarships, that lost full ride scholarships because they wanted to hang with people and they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. So it's just the conversation isn't being had anymore, but they have to learn how to be themselves outside of an athlete. And that's why I appreciate the hearing Mr. Montgomery speak, because it is more important to build their identity than their identity as an athlete, because they're not going to be that forever. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So, and that's something that we have to keep teaching our kids.
So we do have a comment here about the counselors. Ashley says, same with college counselors. My graduate class, she had us taking wrong courses that pushed our graduation back by a year.
Man, that's terrible.
That's trash.
Because you
But
know why?
I'm
Some of them just getting a check, man. They just there.
exactly. But I'm gonna put the ownership on her as well. You know what I'm saying? I ain't so I don't want her to take this as a slap in the face. But I want it to be a learning thing, because again, we got young people that's watching this. We got families and parents that's watching this. Your counselor in college, you know what I'm saying, your dean, your chair and the whole 9 yards, yeah, they there to help you out as far as graduating, get to the next level. But you also got to take responsibility for your own curriculum vitae. You know what I'm saying? You got to know the classes that you're supposed to be taking. You know what I mean? And you got to follow it to the T. And then as an adult, and again, hopefully she don't take this to heart and like that. Please don't, because it's really not a shot at her. It's just a learning curve and everything like that for everybody. I'm talking to my own kid, and then because she hopefully she watching. Once you get on that campus, man, you're an adult. You know what I'm saying? So if you fall behind per se, you know what I'm saying, because of whatever particular reason, or you feel like you falling behind, go challenge that counselor. Go challenge that person. Be like, hey man, I looked at the curriculum, man. That class don't match up. You know what I'm saying? I don't. It's simple. We taking, you know what I'm saying, PE 101. Why am I taking PE 099? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Have them explain to you why you were taking that class to even get it on your schedule. And don't fall for the whole, oh, well, the class is full. Excuse me, the class is full. We just put you another class. Like, nah, bro, I'm paying money. You know what I'm saying? Full ride scholarship, but not I'm paying money. I need to be in the correct class I need to be in. So again, hopefully she doesn't take that as a shot. But the same thing, I had to say that because I got a young, and you know, and I wish he would. Come, hey, Dad, you know what I'm saying? That the counselor said I need to take this particular class, or my academic advisor said to take that according to your curriculum, as far as your major. If it don't match up, don't take it. You know what I'm saying? Find out where you got signed up for that class in the first place and who signed you up for it, so on and so forth. So again, I'm gonna say this last time, so hopefully she hear me for real. It ain't a shot at you, Miss Lady. It's just more so about just for the future, you know what I'm saying, down the line. But that is a great thing that she brought that up, because people don't understand, man. Your counselors, you know what I'm saying, they there, but at the same time, they just like, you know what I'm saying, all of us, they human. Some of them want that paycheck and be like, oh, you need that class? Look, you got it. Here you go. They just give you whatever they want to give you. And you be like, oh, thank you. And next thing you know, you sitting at college for another 2 years, to like, man, I should have been done. Yeah. So, yeah. Just want to say that. So
I let my kid. I don't think she will. She's real. I don't think she will, Mr. Montgomery. Coach. She said, I let my kids be kids, and it's like I get shamed because they are too loud or jump around too much. That's when we're talking about kids being kids.
Where they jumping around and being too loud.
They in the supermarket, running around the aisles and stuff.
It's a big difference between, you know what I'm saying, being loud at the house, being loud at the park, and being loud at church, and being loud, you know what I'm saying, in a quiet place, you know what I'm saying, libraries, so on and so forth. So again, you know what I'm saying, just if you want your kids to be kids, you know what I'm saying, you know, just like they taught us. There's certain places you can wild out, certain places you can't. That's it.
Yeah. As a coach, what are some ways you could get a young child, 6 or 7, to toughen up, especially if they have ADHD, without pushing them too hard?
Time Montgomery.
You want to answer that, coach? You don't want my answer.
He's 6 or 7.
You want to answer it, coach? You want me to answer?
No, go ahead.
Listen,
because I saw your face already.
Listen, because I literally, where was I at? I went to a seminar somewhere. It might have been Detroit. I can't remember where I was at. And the father was there, and he was asking about his 6th grade son or 7th grade son or something like that, and how to get him prepared and ready to play at the collegiate level or the high school, something like that. I can't remember, man. And so the head football coach at Wayne State, matter of fact, it was Detroit. The head football coach at Wayne State is Tyrone Wheatley. So everybody knows Tyrone Wheatley is. Played for the University of Michigan. Went on to play in the NFL, so on and so forth. And the number one thing he said was like, you don't want your kid to be a kid. He in the we gonna say he in the 6th grade. Your son in the 6th grade. Why does he need to be worried about what's going on in the 9th, 10th grade? Let him compete against the guys he competing against and have fun with them people. Like we it goes back to when we look at pictures of our child and be like, man, where has time gone? You know what I'm saying? Man, my baby I remember my baby was just in my hands, crying, firstborn, and now they 15 years old. The same thing. Stop asking your kids to grow up too fast. Like my man and them 6, 7 years old, man, toughen up. You know how you toughen up? You fall off a bed. You know what I'm saying? You get in the door.
Yeah.
Do the things that we did when we was kids. You put your hand on the stove. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't hey, go out there and do 15 squats and 30 burpees. No, you keep running around the house, you're gonna hit the end of that table, you're gonna be knocked out. There you go, toughen up. You know what I'm saying? And then when you take it to the hospital, you stitch him up, like, okay. Yeah. But like, and again, I hope to say no, she ain't taking it personal, but like,
She said she's
you
not.
don't want to. Oh, we all good then. You don't want your 6, 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-old. I mean, honestly, you don't even want your teenager to be tough. Like, what's because the definition of tough isn't the definition you want him or her to portray out in society. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? Because tough could be read as a thug. Tough could be read so many different ways in the wrong way or whatever. So when it comes down to being tough, understand what kind of label you trying to put on your child. You know, I mean, don't worry about them being tough and being hard. Don't even worry about your child being strong. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be strong. Just let your baby be a baby. They're gonna develop naturally because of their genes and the blood is flowing through their veins that come from the mother and the father and whoever else. But the main thing about it is, oh, that they gotta be tough and you gotta be this way to do this. Really?
Right.
For people that work in factories, that's more tougher than some of these kids playing football. I know some grown men that are police officers that are more tough than dudes that's in prison. You know what I'm saying? So don't be thinking that because a dude, you know what I'm saying, out here built like Hulk Hogan, you know what I'm saying, it's tough. It's a lot of look like Tarzan, walk like James out here, man. You know what I'm saying? So don't just let a kid be a
That's
kid.
right.
Sir,
You know,
I'm trying to keep my composure on here, okay?
They're not making it easy, Dr. Eric.
It's some out here with dad. That's tough.
You know what I'm saying? It's being real because my thing is though we get caught up in these labels, we get caught up in these terms about how to be tough, you know what I'm saying, in athletics and let a dog be a dog or whatever. Like, what is a dog on a football field? Was Ray Lewis really a dog? Was Ronnie Lott really a dog?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Was Ed Reed really you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if they dogs and they set the standards for what a dog is, so if the next free safety, strong safety don't play like Ed Reed, he's soft.
Right.
If the next middle linebacker don't play like Ray Lewis, he's soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes it what categorizes a particular person as being a dog? Because you know everybody get got. I mean, they just did a thing about Marshawn Lynch when he played, I think for Seattle. The dude that he was his fullback, so to speak, put Ray Lewis on his back. So that make him less of a dog because he got trucked in the hole. You know what I mean? So like this, let's be a little bit more mindful. Excuse me, let's be a bit more mindful of the way we allow people to say that our sons or our daughters are certain things. So,
hey man, hey,
too many Tarzan. Look, you see, look, see that right there? Y'all reading at the bottom right there?
It's the truth.
Tarzan walking like
that's Ashley. Yeah, that's yeah. You reading that right? But that is, it is.
Hey,
it's true, man.
Yeah.
Like Coach said,
and I know I'm taking the floor too much, but the main thing is, man, listen, some of these coaches talk like Tarzan, live like Zen. Because one thing I've noticed a lot of these men treat some of these young men, or a lot of these women treat some of these young women the way they do, because when they go home, they ain't got no identity. So they try to flex their muscle and prove or show that they grown men, they tough and so on and so forth, because they buttermilk biscuit soft at the crib.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about bowing down to their men and so that they made happy and all this. I ain't talking about none of that stuff. Not that. It's just more so about you don't even live the lifestyle you portray. You got on 15, 16 different masks, my
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be transparent in front of kids. You ain't gotta be the tough guy, the rah-rah person. If that's not your mentality, if that's not your lifestyle, don't do that. So again, let's not raise no Tarzans. You don't need all that. You know what I'm saying? You don't need you don't need that, man. Just let a kid be a kid, and when he or she grow up, you'll know if they Jane or not. You know what I'm saying?
All right, all right. So
I'm
with
sorry.
that being said, let's go to our commercial really quick because we have something fabulous coming up, y'all. Hey guys, hey, listen, you definitely want to be in the building September 6th, starting at 5 p.m. NFL Moms is presenting the Next Play Networking Mixer. You definitely don't want to miss it. So tell a mom to tell a mom to tell plenty of moms and athletes, entrepreneurs, business leaders, any of you, come on out, put on all your black and come out with us. This is an all black event starting at 5 p.m. Man, our panel is gonna be fire. So trust me, you want to get inside the Next Play. Guys, and the tickets are what? Only $50. How can you purchase a ticket? You by going over to our website at www.mothersof motivated.org and purchase your tickets there. However, do follow us on social media, Mothers of Motivated Sons on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you there at the Next Play. All right, all right. Y'all want to be in the building September 6th for the Next Play Networking Mixer. Mr. Montgomery, Coach, will you be in the building?
What's
Oh no.
yeah.
Oh no.
No, that's right. That's what I'm talking.
It was crazy. You played the commercial. I got my phone in my hand. Like I know I said something about that weekend, man. I'm getting my baby girl's soccer schedule. I'm trying to figure out what she got going on. Like that. I'm gonna try to stay true to my word as far as
I
I'm
get
gonna
it.
see what's up.
All right, all right, all right. So if you're in the surrounding areas, please do come up. Y'all, I'm so tired. I know y'all can see it, but I'm so tired. I've been running. I'm telling you, what we do here, we do not take lightly, y'all. This takes a whole lot of out of all of us. We all have businesses, we all have families, we all have a lot going on, but we're here putting these workshops before you all, and they're free for now. Okay, they're definitely free for now. However, when it's like trying to pull teeth, because if it's not saying anything pertaining to you're gonna make money, we're trying to teach you not just to make the money, but to keep the money. We're trying to teach you how to keep your mind right. We're trying to teach you how just navigate the journey through your child's athletic life, because at some particular time, like I told my son, if he stopped playing when he left college, or if he stopped in college, I'm still going to love him the same way, because at the end of the day, it's not just about sports. Because when those cleats come off, those jerseys come off, these kids need to know who they are and who they belong to. You understand me? Because at the end of the day, we don't want our kids falling by the wayside. We spoken last time, the last workshop, where a coach needs to care. You understand me? The coach give the kids the pats on the back for making the grade, like you said, or something. When you see a kid come home and he's proud of what he did, and then you see a parent be like, "Oh, okay, Ann, do you know what that do to a child? What it does to a child? Because this child is so he's hyped or she's hyped about what they did." But then the parent go, okay, that ain't nothing, or just totally ignore that kid. Do you know what happens? But we could rah-rah about, like they said, getting a trophy, or oh, that was my kid. And here's the biggest thing, y'all. And I don't know why God's taking me here, but I'm gonna say it tonight. And I'm gonna be very, very transparent. I want coaches to know, yes, you may have coached our children, but our children have no obligations to you all if they were to make it. You should not expect tickets from our children. You should not expect jerseys from our children. You shouldn't expect me as a mother. I don't expect anything from my child. If you as a coach pour into that child, and that child chooses to pour back into you, You should not make the mom feel bad for the child not pouring back into them, or the child feel bad for the child not pouring back into them, because guess what? Just like as a parent, it was our job to parent our children. You chose to be a coach, to coach our children. And I'm taking it there because people do not understand the attacks on the moms. They do not understand how we get attacked for what our children have. So you both could chime in on that. I just had to go there.
I just whenever I got a young man that goes and plays, you know what I'm saying, college ball, man, the number one thing I asked them is like, man, just make sure you pick a major, you know what I'm saying, and make sure you do what you need to do as far as graduation. I'll be there no matter what. When it comes down to the football games and anything like that, man, I'll make it when I can. I take my pride on, you know what I'm saying, being a coach when a young man invites me to his college graduation or, you know what I'm saying, his wedding day. I tell people that all the time. Like I was taught that in my early coaching career. You don't become a real coach until one of your former student athletes invites you to their wedding. That's the sign, seal, deliver stamp that you're a real coach. And so when I got that first opportunity to attend a young man's wedding and everything like that, like it came full circle because you don't understand that young man kept you in mind from the beginning of his development to where he's at right now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't get invited to weddings to be at the wedding. A lot of people get invited to the wedding to do the reception thing. But you know what I'm saying? So when I'm gonna call his name. So when Zach called and said, "Hey man, I'm getting married such and such day, man, I need you to be there." The key word or key phrase was, "I need you to be there." And I was like, "All right," you know what I'm saying? And it was a no-brainer. You know what I mean? So dudes wanting tickets to games, dudes, you know, I ain't gonna say one. Dudes making it like almost a negotiable to have tickets to the games. To me, that's lame. Also, to me, that's like you trying to make sure that everybody see that you did something. Like, bro, like, didn't you play ball? Like, why do you need to go attend that game? Just first of all, you better go attend this game, sit in the bleachers by yourself. Wait till 7, 8, 9, 11, 12 o'clock at night to take a picture with this dude just to make sure everybody know you was there. Pause. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? You're not even there for the young man for real because you don't even know what his major is. You don't even know what his grades are like. You just trying to make sure that everybody know that you was in attendance of the game, my G. You can't. What's his major? You know what? Forget the major. Did he go to class the other day? How much really do you know leading up to the game? Was he hurt? Did he eat breakfast? But I bet you do know how much NIL money he getting. Mm-hmm. If it's a home game, away game, you might even know the jersey combination, so that way you can take. I'm about to say something silly. So you can go to Walmart or whatever store and make sure you buy the matching colors and wear that on the plane or wear that to the game to make sure that everybody know that you got on red and gray or blue and gray or yellow and green or whatever case might be. Man, listen, man. Oh, and you got to make sure you're wearing your label so everybody know, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I'm here. That's my guy. And you sitting up in the nosebleeds. But after the game was over with, though, we ain't going back to the student cafeteria when my man getting the late night meals because he hungry, you know what I'm saying, going back to the dorm and see where he living at. Nah, we ain't doing that. What we doing is we flicking it up, baby. And I'm back on the plane. You can't, it ain't a young person that I've coached, you know, to the next level except for Terrence Burke because he went to school in Florida and I wasn't going way down there to a game. I waited till he came up. It is what it is. I told him that, but it ain't a young person that I've coached that I haven't gone and see play and hung out. If I'm going to come see you play at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Why you not coming to Florida?
Well, the number one reason why I didn't come back, because he went to Stinson. And, you know what I'm saying, we had a game. I wasn't flying way down there and then missing my own game. Congratulations, you're in college. I see you when you come to Butler. I'm not. That's my alley. I'm not flying way down there. So, but no, like I think we live vicariously through students a little bit too much. Obviously, it's been being done forever, but I think a lot of grown men, especially nowadays, and some of these trainers and stuff like that, they live vicariously through the kids because they was trash in high school, was trash in college. Now that ain't gonna sit right on somebody's stomach, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm not going to the game to be all in the limelight. First of all, whenever I do attend a young man's game that I've coached, I'm taking other young men with me because I need these young men to see what it looks like to see past your front porch. And I'm not taking the elite. Let me rephrase. Let me rewind that so y'all can understand, because this is one thing that we do as coaches that we don't understand that we do. And it was one of the main reasons why Joe Blow and little Timmy don't go to college for real, because Big Mike, you know what I'm saying, gonna make it because he's 6'5", 6'6", 300. So yeah, we're gonna take him wherever. But little Timmy, that's 5'2", 103 pounds soaking wet with some steel toe boots on, we ain't gonna take him because he ain't gonna check the boxes for this level of football. But we forget that, hey man, little Timmy might want to go to college in general. So him seeing these particular different campuses might be the ticket, or might be the battery in his back for him to do the right things. So I gotta say that, because we need to do a better job of not picking the group of guys that need to go in our eyes. No, pick the guys that's in your program that don't have it, that need it, just so they can get out the situation. Because the ones that already cool, the D1 prospects, bro, you don't need to show them around, man, all the time. For what? For what? What? Take you a guy that's below that a little bit in other people's eyes. Show him the possibilities. Show him what's out there, because you never ever know what he could turn into when you get back home. He could turn into a D1 prospect. He could turn into an elite D2 prospect, or in hindsight 2020, I don't know, you turn into a young person that wants to go to college. You ain't never thought about that though. That's the problem that we have. We take everybody that's already triggered and geared and motivated to go to college. We take them to colleges and see colleges, but we don't take the people that, you know what I'm saying, it's on the brink of like, I don't know if she want to go to college for real, man. She really ain't talked about it. She ever stepped foot on the university, you know what I'm saying, campus? She ever walked the campus? Because I'm going to say this again. I said it last time. A young person cannot be where he or she cannot see or touch. Point blank, period. Stop limiting our young people because of your own limitations. For real. That's the problem. Stop limiting our young people because of your own limitations. It's okay if one of these young dudes and these young ladies out here be greater than you. That's supposed to be the key. Don't just preach that to your children. Preach that to the kids you out there mentoring, coaching, and training, and so on and so forth. Because your day is over with. So whatever you failed at, give it to them. And whatever you was great at, give it to them. So give them the whole boat. So that way when they walk on to wherever they go to, you can sit back and just be like, man, I made an impact. And that's it. That's cool. That's my sermon.
Man, my brother, let's pass collection plate. Oh man, good stuff, man. Eric, you want to close out? All right, you gonna do it because you do it so well. I'm not a closer, but I'll go ahead and do it now. You know, thing with a chicken wing.
I got you. Is there anything that you guys want to leave with the audience on today? Because I'm telling you, like this here, it had to happen. It needed to be heard. Come on, Pastor. LOL.
Yeah, boy, preach that. That's Ashley, by the way, Montgomery.
I'm passionate about the youth, man. It's just because
Yeah.
Like if y'all just see me in person, like for real, man. If y'all see me in person, y'all be like, ain't no way in the world this dude right here play college football. You know what I'm saying? But
So when
somebody
we
believes
when
in me.
we
Somebody believes
win,
in me.
not if,
My
when.
bad. When y'all meet me, man, like for real, a lot of people they be shocked, be like, man, ain't no way in the world you play college football and accomplish the thing you accomplished. You know what I'm saying? Somebody believed in me. Somebody poured in me, and they wasn't on my heels during my success. You know what I'm saying? They was on my heels during my failure. Cornell
Mm.
Burbridge was my receiver at Kentucky State University, and he didn't care not one bit about nothing we did in between the white lines. But boy, let you be late to a meeting, let you miss a class, let you do anything like that. You might as well go ahead and just cancel Christmas. And that's the part right there that we have been missing. We celebrate these young people at the wrong times. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta start celebrating these young people at any time. And then when they do mess up, don't let go of their hand. You can let the arm stretch out a little bit, give them a little bit of distance so they can figure out, say, hey man, you got to grow up a little bit, but don't let go though, man. And I ain't trying to be a preacher like that, but God never let go. Why you let go? Who told you that you was greater than him?
That's
Right.
You
right.
know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be over the top, but that's just the truth though. If you're gonna sit there and be somebody that's gonna be in these people's these lives, their lives and so on and so forth, what you let go for?
Mm.
You temporary? Who put you in that position to where you temporary, to where you validate the point that you know what I've done enough? Really? When you didn't milk them dry of their energy, their talent, their passion, their desire, the whole 9 yards, and it's all gone. Your extended arm is gone. And because they didn't reach the potential that you thought, but it ain't what you thought. It ain't your potential, my dude. It's their potential. So you extend that arm. You just don't let it go. You can spread your hand as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I can as long as I can touch you and keep guiding you, we good. I may have
Amen.
opened my hand and opened my fingers just a little bit, but bro, that don't mean I let go, though, man. I ain't about to let go because you still need it because you ain't where I'm at. You still 21, 22, 23, so on and so forth. Got 15 different females, got 2 kids, and you ain't got a job and anything like that. But bro, I'm 40, 50 plus, bro. I'm good where I'm at. I got a home, I got a wife, or I got a husband, I got a car, I got a job, I got a career, so on and so forth. So I got you. These next 15 years might be trash, but look, I'm gonna cut them down a little bit, man. I'm gonna cut them down to 6. I'm coming down to 3. I'm gonna give you all the tools you need to be cool where you at in about 3 or 4 years instead of 15 like me. How about I do that for you? Come on,
Yes.
man. Let's do better. Let's do better.
So
Ooh, all right. Well, as she say, pass the offering plate on that one. No, Mr. First of all, I say pass the offering plate on that one. Listen, I told you these guys was gonna bring out their playbooks tonight and all these plays that they called. You definitely have to be in the building September 6th. Listen, for the next play networking mixer. It is kid friendly. We definitely want you to bring your kids out because we want them to be in company of people like this. Everybody that will be on that panel, let me tell you, amazing. I can't tell you all enough, but you see it. You see it in these workshops. Coach Ashley is actually our money champion. That's our money champion. But yeah, you definitely want to be in the building on September 6th, starting at 5 p.m. So tell a mom to tell a mom to tell all the moms to bring out their playbook. I mean, join us in the huddle. Y'all know I'm tired because I ain't even saying it right. I'm really tired today, y'all. Whew, granddaughter running around. But listen, we're gonna get this done and we're gonna set the tone in the McDonough or Hampton area here on September 6th. So I'm telling you, be in the building, bring your kids out. We would love to see you guys in the building. And Coach, I keep wanting to say Mr. Montgomery, it's always a pleasure having you here with us. Listen, these workshops again, they every round to me goes higher and higher. And if you're missing out, you're missing out. You have to know that you know what I'm talking about. So do be here for our next one on Thursday. Y'all, I'm so tired. I don't know who's coming up next Thursday, y'all. Is it you, Ed? I think it's our nutritionist. Don't quote me on that. But see, that's why y'all should be following our social media. You definitely could go over to our social media to find out who we have coming up next. Mothers Are Motivated Sons on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Y'all, we on TikTok too, y'all. So do follow us and you'll be able to see what's going on. I'm sorry. Hold on. How do I stop it? I had it on. Sorry, but see, y'all, this is what happened. You get the real, you get the raw, and you get the redeemed here inside the huddle. I'm so sorry about that. Please do forgive us. But definitely be in the building September 6th. Also, follow us on all social media platforms to let you guys know next time we'll be going live every Monday, every Thursday at 7:30. You will be getting one of our champions here in the building and with amazing guests like Coach. Y'all, we trying to get Coach to come on over. We trying to get him to cross on over, but God, let God do his thing. Let God do his thing. And we also thank you, each and every one of you, for coming in here with us every Monday, every Thursday, or if you're new here, thank you for coming and joining us inside the huddle. So tell a mom, to tell a mom, to tell all the moms, to tell their mother, sister, brother, cousin to come on out and get inside this huddle at Inside Mom's Locker Room. We love you all. Come on, y'all, give me some hugs. Oh, she said too, she wants you to know, oh, it's credit repair. Oh, you definitely
Oh
want
man, yeah.
in the building for this. Listen, we
Amazing.
don't teach our kids how important credit is. I'm telling you. In college, y'all know they do what? Throw all those credit cards at our kids. Be here or be square. I'm telling you. Thursday at 7:30. I felt y'all hugs. I needed them as well. Also, we'll give y'all some y'all hearts. Woo-hoo-hoo. We love you guys here. I'm about to say it had to happen, but Mom's Locker Room. We love you guys. We're not just building champion. We're raising legacy. So until next time on Thursday, meet us back here at 7:30. So tell her friend and their friends to tell their other friends to meet us back here. Until next time, God bless you all. Bye bye.